So before we move forward, I just like a quick introduction. Where are you from? So I will just introduce myself. So I am IB MYP language and literature teacher. And over the 2 decades, nearly 2 decades of my teaching experience, I've been part of early years, primary years, middle years, and even when I started my career, I was teaching fashion design to adult students. And I really believe in the philosophy of being a lifelong learner. Also, I truly believe that each and every child in our classroom, they are unique and they have their own potential. And what is important is that as teachers, we foster that environment that every child celebrates their individual way of learning. So that's my philosophy. Now I would like to know more about each one of you. And I hope the time we spend together is fruitful for you. Because it's a Saturday and you took out time to be part of this workshop. So thank you so much. Over to you, Maya ma'am, if you would like to begin.
I'm Maya Matre, and this is my 11th year in IB school, and I am PYP, MYP, and this year I got opportunity to teach DP also, and Hindi
Lovely.
teaching.
Lovely. Which subjects you take, ma'am?
Hindi.
Hindi. Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. It's such a beautiful language. Simi ma'am, where are you from?
Hi, my name is Simi and I'm from Gurgaon. Recently, I've shifted from Mumbai, Thane,
Oh, okay.
and
It must be quite a
so
change.
earlier I was here only,
Okay,
and I have 13 year of IB experience, and I'm a Hindi language teacher.
lovely. Great. So we have two Hindi language teachers. That's so nice to know. Yeah, Rashi ma'am, what about you?
Yeah. Hi. So can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So I'm not really from the IB background.
Right.
I work with Webgirls group of schools. So as an assistant manager content development. So we look
Mhm.
after the curriculum there. We develop curriculum for CBSE and ICSE. But I was really, looking forward to IB philosophies and strategies. So hence I'm here.
Very exciting. I think we have a great batch, and I hope you all enjoy the next hour. And I will
Yeah,
just take you through
definitely.
what we are planning to talk about today. So, firstly, we will be discussing understanding what are choice votes. I'm sure Jason, Ashika ma'am, they did talk about it because our entire workshop is about measure what matters. So, how are we measuring learning? So, choice votes is one of these strategies. And I'll share a lot of resources, templates, so that you can straight away apply it in your classroom. Because as a teacher, I already know you attend so many workshops, but how I can use it in my classroom. So I have done a lot of hard work for you. There are ready-made templates which you can straight away on Monday can use it the way you want to. So I can assure you that please be there with me till the end so that everything I can share. And let's keep the questions coming. So, and after that, we will also be talking about role of student agency and what agency actually means. We all have our different viewpoints on it, but how agency actually makes learning and assessments more meaningful. And finally, we'll discuss the importance. How do we evaluate the impact of choice sports? Because I understand choice sports sounds very fancy, but how we implement in our classrooms? Do we have to work more hard? And how we can actually utilize AI and technology to make our lives more easier? Because as teachers, we plan incessantly. And ma'am, as you're part of developing curriculum, so how we can integrate this to make learning more universal? As Jason talked about universal design of learning, I think it is one of the greatest strategies to implement in your class where you can make every learner feel important. And before we go further, I would really like you to look at this picture, no matter which curriculum you teach, because I really believe every curriculum is the main idea is how we can make our learner feel more heard and make the learning meaningful for them. So this is the block tree. Just pause for 2 minutes. Think about the number which you identify with your teaching practice and why. And you can put your answers in the chat box. Sorry, by mistake I stopped. I'm going back. I hope you can see my screen. As it
Yes,
stopped?
yes, it is.
Okay. Think of a blob character you mostly feel connected to in your current teaching practice. You can write the number and the reason why did you choose that number. Thank you. Waiting for your messages. Lovely. So Simi ma'am has written 16, 17, and 18. They are learning from each other and enjoying. That's a wonderful thing to say, ma'am. Actually, learning is that it's all about learning from each other, and we get different perspectives and grow, because as we say, 21st century learner is all about collaboration.
Yeah, it's a collaboration.
Beautiful.
And
So,
they are enjoying and smiling.
yes, it makes learning more enjoyable because
Yeah.
no man is an island. When we learn from each other, we do better. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing.
So I have choose 12. Same
Okay.
thing like learning with buddy, peers.
Great. Lovely. And I think so we're also doing that. Today we are collaborating and learning from each other. Wonderful. And Rashi, ma'am says 12 and also 14 in some instances. Absolutely. I agree with you, because if you had to ask mine, I would say this number 6 who's trying to get up and at times you fall down, because see, it's all about teaching and learning. It's always evolving. It's never that you know it all. So thank you for sharing that. And the whole idea is that choices, whenever we get choice in our life, it makes our life more meaningful. See, right now you got a choice to choose that which number you can associate with, and it just makes us more interested, more invested in what we are doing. So I think the whole idea of doing this topic about choice based learning is that if we are aware of what we like and how we want to learn, we can make the learning more meaningful. I think it goes for both teachers and students, because learning never stops for us too. We can never say we know it all. And if we get a choice to implement what we like, how we like to do, we can give better teaching and learning experiences for our students. So thank you so much. So let's go further. Now, there is a very interesting video which I want you to watch. I'm going to play this and you have to tell me if you can hear the. So when we talk about student agency, what do we understand by student agency? How student agency can impact our learning? So this is something which we are going to watch in the video. I just want a thumbs up if you can hear the voice.
No voice.
No voice.
Yeah, no voice.
Can you say that again? You can't hear the voice?
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
no
When
voice.
you're sharing screen, Hima, you
Yes.
will be able to see on the right hand side says sound
Right.
options under options. So you need to click on that.
Yes. Yes, I'm doing that.
Yeah.
think this. Wait one second. Ashika ma'am, I don't know why I'm not able to share it. Are you here?
When you click, just click on it. Click
Yeah.
on it. Yeah, and you click on this small square. See, there's a small square.
Mhm.
You can see in the image. You can make it full screen.
Some worms.
Yeah, we can hear now the song.
You can hear? Oh, lovely.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Starting once again.
No, now the sound is
No, no
coming up.
sound is not there.
Yeah, you need to click on the sound icon.
Okay. So, ma'am, can you help me? If I share the YouTube link, can you play it?
Yes, yes, I can
Yes,
play it for you. Yeah,
Thank you. Sorry, technology can be tricky at times.
yes.
I'm just
Can
sharing
you
the.
share in the chat? Yeah.
Yes, I'm putting it there. The link is here in the chat box.
Yes, I'll
You can
just,
play it. I'll stop sharing.
yeah. The title is Above and Beyond.
That's right.
Okay.
So when we watch this video, I just want you to focus on the aspect of student agency. What do you understand by student agency, and how this video is actually helping us, that how students learn better when they get choice on how they want to present their learning.
It was a warm spring morning down at the Main Street schoolyard. Excitement was in the air. Hey, check this out, said Charlie. The school's Going Places contest has been announced. Come on, let's go get our kits. And so the kits were handed out. Everyone identical, everyone with a set of precise instructions. Each student set off to work. Charlie knew how to follow directions. He made great progress and was quite proud of his work. Meanwhile, Maya was taking her time. She watched the world around her, noticing other ways things go places. The next morning, Charlie was finished and carefully inspected his work. But a noise interrupted his thoughts. Wow, said Charlie. What is that? You didn't follow the directions, did you? I started to, said Maya, but I wanted to try something different. Maya, what does that have to do with a go-kart? Asked Charlie. Who said it has to be a go-kart? Suddenly, my project doesn't look very exciting. Oh, but you're a great builder, said Maya. Hey, maybe we should work together. And so they did. First, they compared notes. Charlie was good at details. Maya, good at dreaming up ideas. Each had a different approach to getting things done. Then they got to work. Side by side, they helped one another to build something new, something inspired. something spectacular. The next morning, everyone gathered for the final challenge, the big race. Each student stood alongside his or her finished project, each cart a perfect replica. Well, almost perfect. Ready? Asked Charlie. Ready as I'll ever be, said Maya. Some of the other students weren't so convinced. Ha! You may think you're going places, but you're just going to lose.
Students, start your engines. On your mark. Get set.
Charlie shouted, Maya, they're all ahead of us. What are we waiting for? No worries, said Maya. Flaps down, throttle up. What? Whoa, did you see that? And we have our winners. Charlie and Maya were ecstatic. We did it. We finished, said Charlie. Finished? I don't think so. We've only just begun. Right. Flaps down, throttle up. And off they went. They really were going places. They were going above and beyond.
Thank you so much. So, how did you like the video? Was it interesting?
Beautiful.
Very nice.
Loved it. It's so beautiful.
Yeah,
So beautiful.
so beautiful and so meaningful. So, what
Meaning.
was your takeaway? Like, how did Charlie and Maya demonstrate student agency? Let's discuss it together as a team.
Listen your voice. Listen your inner
Your voice. Absolutely.
Collaboration and teamwork.
Collaboration.
Collaboration and
and teamwork.
teamwork. Fabulous.
Yeah.
Anything
Great.
else?
Being
Set a
different
goal,
doesn't
set a
mean that
goal.
you'll fail.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, say that again, please.
So being different doesn't mean that you'll fail. You may
Yes,
you may be able to
absolutely.
create something
Spot on. I
good
think
about
that
it.
such an intelligent bunch of teachers here. Thank you so much. And as I'm a language teacher, and mostly we are, so I think in metaphors. So, see, the first thing when the teacher had given that kit, and Charlie was all about he had to go with it. So, it was like a puzzle with pre-cut pieces. Now, this is what you have to do. The lesson is done. This is what the question paper would look like, and you're done. And this is how mostly we teach. I have grown up learning like that, and I have taught like that. But thanks to the schools we are working in, which encourages, and especially the IB curriculum encourages us to go above and beyond so that each learner feels heard. So this is first thing which came to my mind. And when I think of Maya and when they got together and they completely thought differently. So what how I thought was, ma'am, as your Hindi teachers, what do we call metaphors in Hindi?
Metaphor is alankar.
अलंकार. So जो अलंकार में मुझे समझ में आया, blank canvas or an open field. When we allow our children to think differently and think outside the box, what 21st century learner skills also demonstrate, there are limitless possibilities. There where student agency comes in. Student agency where the child knows what they want, but they have a structured approach. And then there is nothing stopping them because we all aspire our students. We know that our students are the future citizens of the world. They'll be running the world. How we can make it more meaningful for them. So now I just want you to think about it, maybe in your mind. This is like an activator when we watch this. Think of the student who's thriving in your class. What words they use to describe assessment. You can just talk about it. Anything which comes, students are really doing well. And when you give that assessment to them, how do they feel? What word comes to your mind? Is that fear is there of assessment? They feel judged. Or the ones who know what they are doing, how they know, and they have that metacognition skills.
See, the other one is curious or
Yeah.
confused.
Yes.
I think so. And the first one is
Thriving, happy. They know what
Thriving, happy,
right?
joyful.
Yes,
Overjoyed.
joyful.
Overjoyed.
Confident.
Overjoyed.
Yeah,
I hope
Overjoyed.
overjoyed.
assessments were like this for me when I was a kid. I was mostly the second one, confused because I was expected to do the thing what the teacher said, and all of us have done that. But I really feel that Trevor McKenzie is one of my favorite teachers. I really follow him, and talks about student agency, inquiry based learning. And if you see agency, what actually agency means. So, having my questions shape my learning, having a genuine voice in assessment of my learning, showing and explaining my thinking in different ways, deciding how I want to share my learning, growing into the person I want to be, genuine decision making, knowing my strength and stretches as a learner, and exploring my wonderings and curiosities and passions in school. So in today's, because we don't have that much time, we have only 1 hour slot, we are basically focusing on showing and explaining my thinking in different ways and deciding how I want to share my learning. Here is where the choice boards come in very beautifully. Because if every child has that agency to show how they want to demonstrate their learning, because we all understand, we keep saying no, one size can't fit all. Because even our 5 fingers have different sizes and shape, but how we make sure that every child in our class gets an opportunity to showcase how they learn, here where choice board comes in. So I just want to ask, as my lovely participants, do you have any prior knowledge about choice boards? Have you ever used in your classes? If anyone has, would you like to share?
No, not for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great. So we'll start with that. If anyone has used ever, if it's not, that's fine. I'm just asking for my because as a teacher, I have to keep taking feedback. As we read from Ashika ma'am's session,
I
that
have used
where
it.
my learners are. Yes, my ma'am.
I have used it.
You have used it. Lovely.
And yeah, and I like to use it for PYP and MYP, and it will be I think it is very useful for students when instead of creating different worksheet or things
Right.
for students and differentiating them in
Yes.
one box, in one board, I have putting different tasks for students, and they will choose as per their learning ability or
So here it's easier for you because you have put all the, it's like a checklist or a menu where all the
yeah.
tasks are there and students can choose as per their choice. That's a great thing. So if you think about choice board, it's nothing but a graphic organizer, as my ma'am rightly pointed out, that offers students multiple ways to engage with the content and demonstrate their learning. Because the content is same, but how when they're demonstrating their learning, we can give them choice there. Students select from a variety of activities based on their preferences, learning styles or interest, and fostering student agency. Now, there are several choice boards which are available. Now, if you can see, there's a picture where it is a learning choice board and you can use a die. You throw the dice and you have to pick one choice from each column. So there can be various ways of using choice boards in our classroom. And before we go to the how, let's talk about the why. So what it helps in? It helps students to choose tasks that align with their strengths and needs, because we're talking about personalized learning. Let's go back to Maya and Charlie. They didn't want to follow the structure. They had their own strengths. And when they collaborated together, they kind of created a new product in itself. So personalized learning is one. Differentiated instruction, and I would like to add here the UDL, universal design of learning, because where every child feels heard. No child leaves the class feeling I'm not good enough. I think that's what the work we need to cater to, that identity of our students, and increased engagement where every child is feeling heard. There'll be less classroom disruptions and they'll take ownership of their learning and they'll be eagerly part of the learning journey. And now I'm moving towards that how we can create choice boards, because as I promised before we leave this session, each one of you will be creating your own choice boards. So firstly, it can be adaptable for any age. So as Rashi ma'am, you talk about curriculum. So it is from kindergarten to high school. You can use it. I have used it for all of my learners every time. And work across all subjects. It's not subject related. Even a science teacher, design teacher, maths teacher, each and every teacher can use choice boards. And it is useful for even long term. Yes, ma'am, please go ahead.
Can be integrated also.
Absolutely integrated, because here your creativity comes in.
Okay.
So if you're integrating with, let's say, science, and you both you have, firstly, the thing is you have to have a common goal. As ma'am said, if the learning intent is clear, then the choice board is the next part, how you're creating it, right? And the rubric has to be clear, because in IB, we really focus on clear rubrics and success criteria. And I have used choice boards for personal projects, the passion project, because that really helps children. It gives them a menu of things that they can pick up. And also during classroom activities. So, and it can be as simple now today, like I'm a language teacher, when the lesson is over, now you have to choose the character setting or the conflict and write a short paragraph on it. Or you have to make a comic strip. So it becomes easy. Now, every child feels, okay, I'm getting a choice. My teacher is not forcing me to do something. And there are several ways of making choice boards. In today's class, we will go through a very simple way. Now, there is another very fabulous teacher. She has a website, Shake Up Learning. And I really follow her podcast. And this is what I picked up from. This is known as a tic-tac-toe choice menu. Simple and easy. How we can do it, we'll go through the steps and then we'll create together. So if you can see, we all work on Google Docs and Google Slides. It's like you make a simple table there. And as you can see at the center, there is a star. So this star can be the work which is non-negotiable, because as teachers, see, we have to give choice, but we have to kind of contain it also, because if there's no structure, they will go crazy that, okay, we have 9 options. So how we actually, what strategy we apply here is that they have to choose only 3 choices from all the 9 ranges. So the number 5 is mandatory, or it can be a free choice. I can leave it empty and I can ask the student to write what they would like to do. But they have to consult with me that is it doable or not, it matches with the learning outcomes or not, because at times students, what they are trying to do might not meet the objective. And then if you can see, they can choose one, and they're color coded. So this teacher has a great strategy. What she does, the blue one is simpler ones, and the yellow ones are more higher order thinking. So we can choose, number 5 with the mandatory one, everyone does, and they can choose one from blue and one from yellow. We can go that way too. This is what I have done as a language teacher. So currently I'm doing a unit on biography, and my students are reading Yusra Mardini, Butterfly Novel Study. So what I've done here, I have taken my criteria, like I'm an MYP teacher, so I have these 4 criteria: analyzing, organizing, producing text. And I wanted my students to pick one activity from each criteria, because I'll be assessing them on it. So if you can see, I moved the star here because I want, my main objective is they have to analyze Yusra's motivation, that how she became a famous swimmer. The book is about that. And then they have a choice to pick one from organizing and one from producing text. So this is how it can be created in a very simple and effective way. So any questions so far? Right? So how do we create something? Because you'll be creating now. So I'm just giving you an idea. First thing we have to do, identify your learning objective. Like, what is your learning intent? And it should be clearly defined in your mind, and you should write there too. Secondly, when you've created that table, you have to number the boxes for references, because if you're doing the tic-tac-toe, you can do either 6 or you can do 9. So number them, and then you can put a star where you think which is mandatory. Or like in my previous slide, I have done it as per my criteria. I'm sure as IB teachers, you also be using criteria. In MYP, we have these set criteria. We have to assess them. And then include a non-negotiable task. Always keep a task which it is a must do. So that's a mandatory thing. Color code by criteria, like criteria or difficulty level. Give an optional free choice box if you want to. This is optional. And the most important thing is plan a rubric or success criteria. Okay, what success would look like. Now here, for the last thing, it can be very, very taxing at times. But dear ladies, what I really feel in the world of AI, which we live in, There are many AI platforms. If we give the right prompt, tell them that this is the task we are doing, they create the rubric, the task specific descriptors for you. So if you're picking up straight away from IB the same criteria and say, now this is my task, they'll create a task specific descriptor for you, which is very easy for children to understand. So that actually cuts up planning time and makes the learning more effective. Now, as I have just a glance, you can see now this is something, it's flexible and versatile, as I had said. So the same rubric in the learning objective is same here. We'll be able to explain why biodiversity and conservation matter by exploring endangered species and suggesting ways to protect them. Now, this is a topic which we are taking across 3 levels. And this is just for your sample. I wanted to show that how it can be scaffolded for different age groups. Now here, as an elementary school teacher from kindergarten to grade 5, I might ask them only draw a picture of your favorite animal, find 3 fun facts, create a model, share with your classmate this animal. And then I can increase the level of difficulty. When I come here for middle school, it can be design a poster highlighting the importance of protecting an endangered animal. When you go to high school, it can become create a documentary style video on an endangered species. So the whole idea is a common choice boards can be changed as per the need of your audience. Who's your audience? You can easily change them. And as you can see here, choice board is not only academics. Like this choice board I came across on education.com. This is for a dance class. So they had to pick up one of the dance forms and then they have to create a choreography and present it. So here in the dance class, the teacher gave them option. You have to present me a choreography of a dance, but choose the dance form yourself, discuss about it, and then finally present. In my classes, I use it more often because I have these handful of middle-age, the teenage students, and then I give them a choice, like a brain break. If the class is over, you're done with your work. This is the choice board which is there, and they pick up one thing and actually start working on it. Another choice board, I saw this on Toddle, which actually talks about if you have to pick up a healthy habit in your life, what it could be. Like either you can start exercising, start eating good food, journaling, or playing a sport. So this is how choice is an integral part of our lives. And if it is given time to time, it makes life more enjoyable and interesting. So here we go. Now, what I want all of us to do, I'll be sharing this link to the presentation. I'll just take you there. And we'll all practice. You can choose a topic of your own choice. And let's quickly create a choice board. Would you like to do that with me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Google Slides. And everyone will create. And there's no pressure. Let's think about the 6 activities. If you think 6 is too much, you can actually do 2 to 3 only. That's also done. So I'm just sharing the link, putting in the chat box, and we'll all start working on it. Earlier, I thought we'll be working in teams, but each one of us can take one, or if you want to work in collaboration, it's up to you.
Ma'am, on a choice board, we can focus only on a single skill, or we can choose any kind of skill, like one activity is from listening and other is
Of
speaking
course
and
you
one is
can, ma'am.
writing.
Absolutely. That's a wonderful question. You can actually do that. So there are like 3 columns. The first column can be listening. So all the listening activities are there. Second is speaking. Third is writing. And then you can ask them to, as language teachers, we can ask them pick one from speaking, pick one from writing, pick one from reading. That we can do. So here we go. The slides, I hope you're able to access it. So you can start from slide number 2. You can put your name there and we'll take 10 minutes to do this. So let's practice this. Now, this is a template which I'll be giving to you also because as I said, these resources are there. You just have to duplicate the slide and keep adding your things to it.
I'm sorry, is it an editable template? Because
It is
when I'm
editable.
opening the link,
Yes, it is editable. So maybe you can choose a slide, like if you can write your name on the slide, Rashi ma'am.
okay, so when I'm opening it, I'm
Yeah.
not able to edit. Like
Okay.
it opens as a PDF for me.
Really? Okay. Google Slides.
Yeah,
Do you have Google Slides, access to Google Slides?
yeah, I do have. I'll
I'll
just
try it.
try. Just
Try
give
it
me a
once
minute.
again. Try
Yeah,
it once again. If it doesn't work, then I'll
yeah.
see what I can do. Otherwise, I'll share the link with you. I'll add your. If you can share me your email ID, I'll make you the editor here. I can do that.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah,
I'm
that'd be
sharing.
easier for you. So Simi ma'am and Maya
Yeah,
ma'am,
I shared.
yeah. So I am making you the editor. See if you've got this, ma'am. I've just sent you. So you can open
Okay.
your email and you will see this that I've sent you the invite to join this.
Ma'am, I have a doubt. We have to create a complete
ma'am.
line.
Let's do first two rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do this
Okay.
much only because we're just creating a sample.
Okay.
Okay. So if you, ma'am, want to do less, the two other columns, we can delete it. You let me know which one is yours. I'll delete the other two columns for you. Which slide have you chosen?
Number 4.
Number 4. Okay. I'll do that. So first thing, ma'am, I would say, first thing, you should always write your learning outcome. What is the learning intention? What the students will be doing? If you can write that.
Uh, uh, Hima,
Have you
if you
got
can
it,
try
Rashmi?
this email ID, it was like the V was capital. I don't know,
Huh.
because of that, I'm not
Okay,
able to
sure.
see it.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we can work together. I can share my screen, and if you want to do, we can do that. Give me a
Okay.
moment. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try this, and if not, then we can work that way.
So Rashi ma'am, on the fourth slide, I have just made it 6. There are 6 columns. That works?
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. I'll try the other one. So
Yes, I see.
now you received it? Okay. Great.
Yes, I see.
Yeah.
Sure. Fourth slide, right?
Now, anyone you can choose. I'm just saying.
Ma'am, as I am Hindi teacher, should I try in Hindi?
Hanji, please. That would be so nice,
So
ma'am.
it will give me more clarity.
Of course, ma'am. That's the whole idea. See, we only learn when we actually experience making it, right?
Thank you.
I'm still not able to edit it. I'll just write my ideas and then I
Okay.
can,
Maybe can I suggest something,
yeah.
Rashi ma'am? Do it on a piece of paper,
Yeah, right.
right?
I'll do that.
At
Yes.
least practice so you'll know what you're doing, isn't it?
Right.
मैम हम चेकलिस्ट भी दे सकते हैं कैन
बिल्कुल
वी
मैम चेकलिस्ट दे सकते हैं बट नॉट यू कैन डू मैम ऐसे हर कॉलम में आपने जो फर्स्ट में जैसे लिसनिंग की एक्टिविटी बनाई है तो उससे रिलेटेड चेकलिस्ट हाइपर जैसे लिंक करके बना सकते हैं नीचे First thing, you can just think of the activities. Now that's the little extensive work. Then I said I'll give you certain tools, AI tools, which will help you make the checklist. Lovely, Tazin ma'am. Draw a picture of yourself doing 5 different action verbs. Great. Ma'am, you are a language teacher?
Actually, I'm a PYP teacher,
Right,
homeroom
yes.
teacher. So naturally, you have to teach
Yeah.
language.
That's true. That's
So
true.
I'm trying to make one for grade 1 on
Perfect.
verbs.
Yes, yes. Lovely one. So very interesting activities are coming up now, learning so much. And I saw you shifted the star to number 2. Maybe you want that to be the non-negotiable activity. Great. Rashi ma'am, do you need any help?
I'm creating boxes in my notebook and I'm jotting down.
Okay, okay. So again, I'll say 2 things, like having a learning outcome is very important. And also you can mention the class.
Right, right.
All these structures help us to think more clearly. Looking at the time we have, I can give you 2 more minutes, please. And I'll share this with you because it's already 11:51 and by 12 we have to leave, as Ashika ma'am said, be on time. I think that's really nice that's come up. Yeah. And that's interesting. All language teachers are here. Thank you, ma'am. Uddesh आपने लिखा. Perfect. I'll just help you share this. Well, this is पाठन और वाचन कौशलों का विकास. हम 3 का प्रयोग करके अपनी पसंद को कार्य को पूरा करें. Excellent. Verb hunt. I think, ma'am, I'll use this in my class too. Thank you so much for sharing this, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm trying to just rearrange it so that it will go from the easiest to the difficult one.
Right, right.
The PowerPoint presentation, maybe all will not be having that technical skill, right? Because my
Absolutely.
children are little, so that's why it's in 6. I just moved it to 9.
Great. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I was
One is
thinking.
learning so much. Wow, ma'am. Both the
uh,
sisters are so like interesting, ma'am. You both are real sisters, Ashika ma'am and you.
yeah, she's my elder sister.
So inspiring to. I learned so much from both of you. Okay. So, in the interest of time, can we stop this, please?
Yeah.
That's great. See, so you can see what such wonderful examples have come here. So in like 10 minutes, it just took 5 to 6 minutes to think so clearly how you want your children to showcase their understanding of a particular concept, whether it's verbs or it's about a concept related to Hindi, environment, and human impact on environment. So this is the power of teaching and understanding. And we just have to use a tool to make it more interesting for our learners. So thank you so much. And what I want you to discuss now is, so as you can see, it helps us assessing student learning through choice board, helps us to impact parents assessment techniques, because self-assessment, peer evaluation, and teacher observations, everything can be combined together. So after this, when you have created this choice board, there can be a column there where student writes their self-assessment, like self-reflection, whichever topic they have chosen, and then they assess themselves that how this learning helped them reach the learning outcome. Did they reach it or not? And the teacher can write their observations under it. So here the threefold assessment is happening: teacher-led, student-led, and also peer-led, if the student is showing their work to their peers. And again, I would, this is a quick checklist for assessing, because ultimately whatever task we take in the class, we want to assess our students' learning. So what is imperative is rubric or criteria developed for each task. Opportunities for self-assessment and reflection included. A column can be included underneath where children are writing what they have learned through it. And tasks aligned with the learning objectives. And regular check-ins. As I said, this can be used for projects, long-term projects too. So here a teacher has to make sure that once a choice board is given where the students are progressing, like I do novel studies. So if I've given them 6 options, I would like to regularly check in that how my students are progressing on the choice they have chosen, and how I can give constructive feedback so that they keep improvising their work and keep moving forward. Yes, Rashi ma'am.
Yeah, so I have a question. So
Yes,
choice boards can be both long term and short term.
absolutely, ma'am. So long term, as I
Okay.
said, it can be for a project, and short term is right now in the class only. Like if you're taking a class and you have a choice board, like today students will be showcasing their learning of the character by either making a comic strip, writing a reflective essay, or doing a video essay. So I've done that in the class, and I
Okay.
want that by the end of the class, students have to choose to choose any one.
Okay. So if it's a long term, for example, I have a learning objective. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
It may have some short term activities, some short term goals, and long term goals as well.
Right.
Right? For example, if I look at presentation,
Yes.
that would, yes, require a lot of time to
Right,
create,
ma'am.
to present. And writing a short story, can be, done in class there and then. It
Absolutely.
works that way, right? Okay.
So, ma'am, that's a very good question. Here, I would say the strategy can be one, we can make a mandatory task, and then as you had color coded, then the color coding can mean now this has to be done within a week, and this color code
Okay.
has to be done within like 15 days. So
Okay.
this is
Got
how
it.
I think it gives a lot of scope of creativity to the teachers, how they want to do it.
Right.
That's why I say it
The
just go
whole
and start
choice board
making.
can include all the activities that you're going to do for that particular objective.
Absolutely, ma'am.
Right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So here is something, if you can see my screen, this is, if you can scan it, I'll be putting the links now. This is, I have made a plethora of resources, templates, different types of choice boards, reading choice boards, as we are language teachers, so I have number of language related choice boards, science choice boards, and even maths choice boards. So if you can scan it and let me know, you can see. Otherwise, I'm putting all the links in the chat box. And I really, really request you, if you can write a short feedback, I am just putting the link in my chat box. I'll stop sharing. Any questions? We have some time. Okay, thank you. So I would like to end this with a short note that as teachers, every small step counts. So what one small step you will like take to introduce or improve student agents in your classroom? And which type of choice board will you try first and why? If you can quickly write in the chat box, or I'm sending the link to the Google form. Thank you for being such lovely participants. Any questions?
Should I write in a chat box?
Ma'am, I'm putting a Google form. Just a minute. So you can just put the answers.
Because I'm not able to operate it on my mobile.
Okay, ma'am. Then Google Forms link.
I have to log in.
Hanji. Which one, ma'am? Sorry.
Reading responses choice board. Okay. So it is showing continue with the Microsoft and all.
Okay. Let me see. One second. One second, ma'am. I'm just checking. So I am just adding the link there. If you can add it, and I'm adding the link to the Padlet also. And in case you want to stay in touch with me, I would love to work with you further as we learn from each other. I'm putting my email ID also there. So you can write to me. This is a Google form. Please let me know if you can access it. Were you able to access the Padlet or not?
Yes.
Yeah. So the presentation is also there, and this is my email ID. Link to these resources I'm sending again, Rashi ma'am. I'm sending the Padlet link here only. Here's the link to the Padlet. So the templates we just worked on, they are there. And if you think you want to use it with other subject teachers, there are templates for mathematics, science, too.
I filled the Google feedback form.
Thank you. Thank you for being such lovely participants. I really enjoyed working with you.
I also learned something different about choiceboard. That was about color coding and then making a mandatory one. Because when I used the choice board,
Right.
the which I used was the column one that you have to select from each of the column.
Absolutely.
That means A, B, C. And then I
Right.
had made the choice board for 9 activity.
Okay.
So in case also when I'm going from top to bottom, in that column, I'm going from simple to complex. And
Right.
then they had to see that they are doing one task of each of the column, A, B, C. They can do it horizontally or they can do it diagonally.
Diagonally.
Yeah,
Right. Right.
like
Thank
that.
you, ma'am. That's important. I also learned it that keep one mandatory or a free task. That
Oh.
helps. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So that was
As
something
I have to focus,
mandatory one and the color coding.
Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am, for
uh,
sharing your
Yeah.
takeaway. Yes, Maima, you were saying something?
as I have to focus on MYP students reading, listening skills, and writing also. So I have given them choice board, like I have here put here ki shahrikaran, environment ke
Right.
regarding, that they
Yeah.
have to research on it,
Yes.
listen and then research.
Absolutely.
Later create something, whether to inform community T-shirts or a brochure, and
Right.
then use RAP strategy where
Yes.
you can write blog or letters to mayor like that. So
Right.
I always focus on that skills, and then
Hmm.
as you said कि you have to first think about कि आपको किस चीज के ऊपर आपको बनाना है,
हाँ,
आपका वो
right.
एक ऑब्जेक्टिव होना चाहिए कि बच्चों ने क्या सीखना चाहिए और किस
Absolutely.
कंटेंट या कॉन्सेप्ट को उन्होंने मीट करना चाहिए, उनको अंडरस्टैंड होना चाहिए दैट बट विद अ वेरी स्मॉल in one place we have to put about शहरीकरण,
Hmm.
urbanization, then later global warming and other things, and then step by step we have
Absolutely.
to give them.
Right. And the more we keep making it, life becomes
Scaffolding, we
easier
can
for
say
us.
that it's
Yeah.
help for scaffolding also like that.
Scaffolding, yes. Absolutely. So I was just saying, if when you have to make task-specific descriptors, if you use ChatGPT, you can actually add the whole prompt there and ask ChatGPT, make me task-specific descriptors for each level. And it quickly makes and gives to you, and you can add it as a rubric there. So just that helps me. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Rashi ma'am. Thank you, Sami ma'am. We'll go back to the main room. If you have any questions, you can ask me.
No, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Take care.
Stay in touch.
Yes, please, let's stay in touch. I put my email ID there so you can write to me.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you, ma'am.